Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us in this session of Spokane Public Schools Keep Learning series for mathematics. Today's lesson is for students in grade 5, but all of you are welcome to join in. My name is Mrs. Henshin, and I'm a 5th grade teacher at Logan Elementary in Spokane Public Schools, and I will be your teacher for this lesson. I'm so glad you're participating with me today. You can access previous lessons on the KSPS website, and if you would like additional activities, you can go to the Spokane Schools Learning at Home website. Sometimes it's helpful to go back and watch the other lessons in our series so you can continue building your understanding of the mathematics we'll be doing together. Today, we will be learning about dividing a unit fraction by a whole number. For today's lesson, you will need something to write on and something to write with. Go ahead, gather your supplies. I'll give you a moment. Great, let's get started. So today's learning target is I can divide a unit fraction by a whole number. Before we do that, let's do a quick review of what we did last time, which was dividing a whole number by a unit fraction. We're just going to do a very short number string. So I want you to write your answers down and then check with me. First, we have 1 divided by 1/2. Try it out. Did you say 2? Let's look. One whole divided by 1/2. We have 2 parts. How many halves in one whole? 2. All right, let's move on. How about 2 divided by 1/2? Try this one out. Did you say 4? The whole thing represents 2. How many halves? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 divided by 1/2 is 4. Moving on. Three divided by 1/2. Go ahead, try it out. Did you say 6? What did you draw? Now we have 3 wholes, each in half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 halves. 3 divided by 1/2 is 6. Last one. Can you guess where I'm going with this one? Try it out. Did you say 8? Let's draw it. The whole thing is 4 divided by 1/2. How many halves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How'd you do? All right, that was a quick review from last time. We're also going to review the difference between sharing and grouping division, and I have 2 problems for you right now, so get ready. Okay? The first one says, I had 4 horse posters. I split them evenly with my best friend. How many posters did we each get? And the second one says, I had 4 sports posters. I pinned up 2 of them on each wall in my room until I ran out. How many walls get posters? Okay, so write an expression to match each problem. Solve your problem. Don't forget to label your answer. And then decide which one is sharing and which one is grouping. Okay, I'll read them again and then we'll work it out. I had 4 horse posters. I split them evenly with my best friend. How many posters did we each get? Okay, so that was the first one. Let's see, the expression 4 posters split between 2 friends. Okay, there's one friend and the other. And we're going to share those posters back and forth. You get one, I get one. You get one, I get one. 4 posters, we each get 2. So we shared. That was sharing division. But what about the second one? Okay, so 4 sports posters, and you're pinning up 2 on each wall until you run out. Again, the expression is 4 divided by 2. I'm going to put 2 posters together on this wall, and then 2 posters together on this wall. Look, I've used up all 4. This time I'm going to count how many walls, how many groups. 1, 2. So this is the grouping division. How'd you do? All right, nice job. So I'm going to erase and write up a new expression, and I just want you to read the expression out loud. Can we all agree this says 1/4 divided by 2? All right, how do you think we're going to go about solving this one? All right, before we actually start solving, I have a couple of questions for you. I'm going to tell you 2 different ways that I could talk about this problem. The first way is sharing and then grouping. And I want you to think privately about which version makes more sense to you. Okay, so the first way is 1/4 of something shared evenly between 2 people. Okay, and then the second one, the grouping, the number of groups of 2 you can get out of 1/4. Which one makes better sense? 1/4 of something shared evenly between 2 people, or the number of groups of 2 you can get out of 1/4? If you have someone near you, talk it through with them. All right, if you have 1/4, can you get 2 groups out of it? Or if you have 1/4 of something, say a cookie, can you split it up between 2 people? Yeah, you can. You might not get very much, but I guess it depends on the size of the cookie. But if I have 1/4 of a cookie, I can't group up 2 whole cookies. So when you're dividing a unit fraction by a whole number, the sharing interpretation makes better sense than the grouping interpretation. 1/4 divided by 2 requires you to divide 1/4 into 2 equal parts and then determine the size of each fractional part that results. So let's solve this problem. I had 1/4 of a candy bar left. I divided it equally with my brother. What fraction of the candy bar did we each get? Write an expression to match the problem and then solve. Let's read it one more time. I had 1/4 of a candy bar left. I divided it equally with my brother. What fraction of the candy bar did we each get? So we already had the expression written for us this time. Let's see what we can draw. There's my candy bar, my whole candy bar. But I don't have a whole candy bar anymore. I only have 1/4 of it. And I want to split that piece between me and my brother. So I split it up between me and my brother. I get this, he gets that. But how much of that whole candy bar is that? Do I know yet? What if I go like this? I need to know what this piece is to the whole bar. It's 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 1/8 of the whole candy bar. So 1/4 divided by 2 equals 1/8. 1/8 of the bar. How did you do? Are you ready to try another one? Here we go. Yes, this one. John has a half of a yard of rope. He wants to cut the rope into 3 equal pieces. What fraction of a yard will each piece of rope be? Okay, write an expression, solve your problem, use numbers, words, labeled sketches to show your thinking, and then write your answer and label. Okay, let's read it one more time. John has a half of a yard of rope. He wants to cut the rope into 3 equal pieces. What fraction of a yard will each piece of rope be? So what's your expression here? How much does he have? He has a half of a yard, and he wants to divide that equally into 3 equal pieces. So that's the expression we should have. Let's draw this out. This is going to represent 1 whole yard. He doesn't have a whole yard, does he? He only has half a yard. Now I was thinking about this, and a rope is long, and so I really didn't feel like I wanted to cut it this way like I did on the last problem. I wanted to cut it, it made more sense in my brain to cut it this way. 3 equal pieces. But again, I'm stuck because how much is this of the whole yard? What should I do? Do I have all equal pieces across my yard now? Not yet. There we go. Now I know what fractional part this is. It's 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1/6. So 1/2 divided by 3 equals 1/6 yard of rope. Great. I hope you're noticing some patterns. Let's do another one. Get your paper ready. Here we go. Lori had half of a bag of candy and shared it with 3 friends. What fraction of the whole bag of candy did each of the 4 children get? Write an expression, solve your problem, label your answer, and then we'll go over it together. Okay, let's read it one more time. Lori had half of a bag of candy and shared it with 3 friends. What fraction of the whole bag of candy did each of the 4 children get? So what's the expression for this problem? What does she start with? A half a bag of candy. And it's between her and her 3 friends, so there's 4 children. I actually imagined this picture a little bit differently. I thought of it like a bag of candy. So this is the 1 whole bag. She doesn't have a full bag. She only has half the bag. So what do you do now? You're going to divide it up between the 4 friends. And now I know from the other models that I have to cut the whole model. But how much is this? That's what Lori gets, and then her other 3 friends. It's 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1/2 divided by 4 equals 1/8 of the bag. How'd you do? All right, you guys are doing great. Stick with me. We have one more before it's your turn to do your assignment. There is 1/3 of a pan of lemon bars left. Sarah and her 3 cousins are going to share the 1/3 pan equally. What fraction of the pan of lemon bars will each of the 4 girls get? Write an expression, solve your problem, label your answer. There is 1/3 of a pan of lemon bars left. Sarah and her 3 cousins are going to share the 1/3 pan equally. What fraction of the pan of lemon bars will each of the 4 girls get? So what are they starting with? They're starting with 1/3 of the pan. And it's divided amongst 4 people. So here's their pan. That's the whole pan. They don't have a whole pan. Somebody ate it. They only have 1/3 left. What do we do? How many people do we need to divide it by? 4. So 1 piece out of 4, 8, 12. 1/3 divided by 4 is 1/12 of the pan of lemon cake. So, lemon bars. There you have it. Now it's time for you to do your assignment. You'll need to contact your teacher and ask them how they want you to turn it in. So get ready to write them down. Your first problem. There is 1/4 of a pan of brownies left. Jake and his 3 brothers are going to share the 1/4 equally. What fraction of the pan of brownies will each of the 4 boys get? Okay. Number 2. 5 cousins shared 1/4 of a birthday cake. What fraction of the cake did each cousin get? Number 3. Write a story problem to match the expression 1/8 divided by 3, and then solve the problem you created. Number 4, reflection. What patterns are you noticing when dividing a unit fraction by a whole number? How does this compare to dividing a whole number by a unit fraction? Last one, challenge problem. Sarah had 2/3 of a cup of grated cheese. She divided it equally between 4 salads. What fraction of a cup of cheese did each salad get? Now, why is this one a challenge problem? What's different about this than all the other problems we solved today? You can do it. All right, 5th graders, thanks so much. Make sure, again, that you contact your teacher and they will let you know how they want that assignment turned in. So I've really enjoyed doing some mathematics with you today. Thank you for joining me as you continue your learning from home. I look forward to seeing you again on our next lesson on KSPS. Bye.